So what we said? We said that the protocol of immunotech is such that uh, there are some soluble mediators which are called cytokines, which eventually will bring upon immune cells towards the site of infection. Okay, now cytokines are nothing but those things, those molecules which will call the cells or to make the cells to move. Now immune cells, when we talk about, which kind of immune cells we are talking to? We are talking about all this. Okay, we are talking about B lymphocyte, we are talking about T lymphocytes, and we are talking about non uh, we shall call them what? B lymphocyte, then T lymphocyte. Okay, and we are also talking about granulocytes as well. Okay, all the granulocytes. Okay, so many of the granulocytes are somehow non-specific kind of. Okay, some of the granulocytes behaves non specific, general. Whenever there is an infection, these will come. Okay, okay, they all will come. Just hold on. So this is the structure of a macrophage. Okay, now as you can see, the red spot, if you can see, the red spot is an RBC which is present somewhere on the blood vessels, and this is your bacteria. No, not bacteria, the macrophage. Okay, these are similar kind of cells, and the green cells are nothing but the E. coli. So what has happened? Some E. coli has entered into your body, and these cells are trying to capture all this. Now whatever the purple color threads you can see, do you know what are these? These are nothing but the pseudopodia. Okay, these green color or purple color threads are nothing but the pseudopodia, which all these kinds of cells possess. Okay, okay, now this is a case where it took a lot of time to this kind of cells to activate. Okay, the macrophage, which is pink in color, it took a lot of time because it need to understand that these are foreign things, and some cytokines should be there, and all other pathway. So every time whenever E. coli enters, it takes a lot of time to these macrophages to kill them, to bring them into the body and then kill them. So during this time, what can happen is some of the E. coli can make you really sick. Okay, now E. coli is a bacteria which can cause a lot of things. There are several species of E. coli. For example, enterohemorrhagic E. coli, which leads to bloody stool. That means your stool will be full of blood. And there are some other uropathogenic E. coli. Uropathogenic means this kind of bacteria will cause infection of the urogenital system, and simply urine infection. So whenever an E. coli infects a person for the first time, it takes a lot of this thing mechanism. There are plenty of mechanism which eventually kills the bacteria. But repeatedly, if this thing takes place, and every time if it takes a lot of time, it becomes very bad for the host. So there is a concept called immunological memory. Okay, eventually we will also see that due to the presence of immunological memory, all the change will take place much faster. So immunological memory we understood previously, isn't it, last class? Today we shall see what exactly happens due to the immunological memory. Okay, with an excellent what do we call is experiment, very simple to do and very helpful to make you understand. Just hold on. Now coming to this, is this visible? If it is visible, please see what exactly has happened here. uh, this is the result of the experiment. Okay, I'll tell you how the experiments all started. This is the result of the experiment. So we will first see the result and then we will see the procedure. Okay, so it will be helpful for us to understand what exactly might have happened. Here you see, first it is antigen A. Now when antigen A was there in the blood, initially the serum antibody level we find out what is the serum antibody level. We found that primary NTA. Now whenever an antigen enters, an antibody is produced against it. The name of the antibody depends on the name of the antigen. Okay, let me give you one example. The most common example that we give, I'll be giving you that only. For example, there is an antigen called ovalbumin. Okay, most frequently used antigen for immunological investigations. Now ovalbumin is a common antigen. Okay, or frequently used antigen. Now why we use this? Because it is easily available. Okay, it is nothing but the egg white. It is what? It is nothing but the egg white. Then you can say, sir, why we are calling it albumin, ovalbumin? Because there are two different types of protein. One is called albumin, another is called what, globulin. So the substantial part of this egg white belongs to albumin group of protein. So whenever we use this antigen, rapidly an antibody is developed. And you know what is the name of the antibody? Yeah, anti-ovalbumin antibody. Okay, so whenever an antigen enters, the name belongs to this antigen only. So here you see what happened. Antigen A was inserted. Eventually there was a, please remember, primary anti-A response. See the peak. Now this is the peak of an HPLC car. Now HPLC is a method which can give you the identity of any compound through graphical representation. Okay, so in your coming days you will come to know about chromatography. There are plenty different chromatographies. For example, size exclusion chromatography. Then there are plenty. So what happens is, by an HPLC you can find out affinity chromatography. Then we are having ion exchange chromatography, so on and so forth. So one of the method is HPLC, which is high performance liquid chromatography, taking place in a liquid medium and under the pressure, under influence of a pressure as well as electricity, and therefore very rapidly the activity takes place.